What's happening, my man?
Chilling, bro. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Yes, yes.
So the last time I saw you, so here I'm in LA, playoffs. I'm sitting trying to catch my Astros. We go out to eat. Just running you at the restaurant.
Yeah, man.
And so I was like, hey, man, we here doing these interviews. You were like,
I'm down.
Well, come on.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Dude, ever since I first met you, you've always had like a good vibe about you, and that's what I really look forward to when I'm working with people, especially I've been in this industry for so long. Like, you just meet so many people that are kind of fake, but you've always been solid and a real dude, so I always support anything that you're doing, and I got you.
I appreciate it,
Yeah,
it. And so I said, look, we got to chop it up. And so I hit you up. So then Dondre Whitfield hits me. He was like, yo, Trevor's mama hit me up, and I was like, roll good. She was like, okay, he could do the interview.
Yo, Dondre, that's my family. So I did Eureka when I was 13 years old with Sally, and that's how I originally met Dondre and the whole family, and we became really close. And he's like, yeah, second dad to me, so he's super, super dope. And
yeah. I cracked up laughing. He was like, yeah, mom was checking like, okay, all right.
Yeah, no, she got, she thorough. I like it. She got to check in, But I told her, but she's like, we got to make sure everything's good. Yeah.
So what roles your mom play in your career?
She's my manager / everything, I'd be pretty much nothing without my mom. She picks up a lot of the slack.
Really?
Yeah. She's reading scripts. I don't even read scripts. Like, people say, I don't even know if I should say this on camera.
It's all good.
I don't read scripts.
That's your process.
I don't read scripts. I don't really, so I tell her to read it, and then I'm like, give me the rundown, the gist of it. Does it feel good? Do you think I do it? And so we kind of have like a good system there. So she reads scripts. She'll look out for different roles. Sometimes maybe an agent missed something. She'll find a job. She'll see something coming down the pipe and be like, yo, did you guys send him out for this? So she's very, very, wrapped up in my career for sure.
Is that obviously that for some people that's the case, but that's different in that someone who birthed you, who raised you, who knows you, and you have absolute trust in her judgment.
Oh yeah. I mean, and even sometimes I don't, but that's the thing. Like, I have so much trust in her that I can tell her that I don't like something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have that kind of relationship where I'm like, I don't feel like doing this. This doesn't sound right. And sometimes she's like, come on. It's a push and pull, but I wouldn't rather have with anybody else.
So when is it your mom but your manager? So is it like, for me, it's like with, I might have my niece works for me.
Yeah.
I ain't Uncle Roro.
Oh no,
at work.
Yeah, we got a job to do.
Right.
My mom becomes manager mode when it's like tour and stuff. Like when I'm on tour and she's got to put on a manager hat. Just.
And you like, hey mom, she's like, mm-mm.
No, I'm like that. I'm like, yo, man, it's my manager. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't call her mom, But yeah, I guess it depends. But I'm pretty open about it. It's not something I shy away from. I always talk to people about like my relationship with my mom. I've met so many people that I've like loved and that I've talked to, and they're like, man, one regret I have is that I wish I would have spent more time with my parents. And so I never want to have that regret. So I'm like, even though she gets on my nerves, she's a mama. At the end of the day, I don't care if manager or whatever, she's my mom. So she'll, even just she'll be like, lotion, baby. I'm like, get off me, okay? Just let me breathe for a second, okay? I got it, dang, 25. But I love her, you know what I'm saying? So I'll deal with that, I don't care, you know what I'm saying? Life is short.
Oh, indeed. You've been, so you got the acting, that's one piece, then you got the singing piece. So how long have you been engrossed in the arts?
Since I was 3 years old, my man. Yeah, I started off tap dancing. So this is a story my mom has said. I don't remember it, obviously, but she said when I was 3 years old, I was flipping all over the house, doing backflips, and like, she's like, he's gonna hurt himself, he's gonna kill himself. So she takes me to a tumbling class, and I do remember this day. I'm walking to the tumbling class, it's this way, and there's like hallways and different things are happening in these rooms. And I like walked and I like saw tap dancing, and I was like, and that was like my birthplace into the creative world. I saw it and I said, I need those shoes, and I begged her for weeks. She was like, she says this to me says this about me to this day, like I get stuck on something and I can't, you know what I'm saying? That's all I want to do, that's all I want to do. So like tap shoes, finally I start tapping, I start competing and stuff, and anything that I fall in love with, I deep dive. So I'm like deep diving the greats at that age, and I'm just like, yo, who was the best? Gregory Hines,
of course,
was my guy. When I saw him, I was like, hold on. And this is, I'm young realizing this, but I'm like 3 or 4, and I'm like looking at the TV like, okay, wait, he's on screen. So I want to be on TV. He's singing in this movie. When he's playing Bojangles, he was singing to the girls and all that, and I was like, oh snap. And he's tap dancing. So I want to do all 3 of those things. I want to dance, sing, and act. And so I started competing for tapping, just like around the country and stuff. And then I met somebody, and he was like, we know you can dance, like do something else. Like you have something, just try and do something else. So I remember I went to an acting class thinking it was a tap class. When I walk into tap class, people know who it is. I had my tap shoes over my shoulder. I'm like, y'all about to get this work. And I look around and everybody's in regular clothes. I tried to turn around. Mom's like, no, just go in. I was like, what's going on? What did you do to me? I felt like I was like ambushed. And then I get in there, and then after like 5 minutes, I kept raising my hand. They're like, Trevor, you can't come up for anymore. Like I just wanted to keep doing it. So I fell in love with acting pretty quick too. And then I did Lion King, the Broadway show, for 3 years, and that kind of like, that set me off. I was like, I can never do anything else in my life. I remember there was a show, I was like 8 years old, 8 and a half, and I was like, I did the show so many times where I wasn't thinking about the show, you're just like, kind of like,
going through the motions.
Yeah, going through the motions. But I remember looking at like the front row, and everybody's face was lit up. Everybody, like, and just white, black, Asian, it doesn't matter who it was, and they were all just like smiling. And I was like, I'm just up here chilling. I'm not even thinking about what I'm doing. Y'all just like, right? And I was like, if I could do that for the rest of my life, then I found like some sort of, purpose in it. And so from that day on, that's all I've been trying to do is make stuff. And it actually went from that. It's crazy because like people always like, oh, you've known for a long time. I was like, yeah, I've known what, but I didn't know the reason why. You know what I'm saying? Like I've always known that I wanted to do some shit, but I didn't know why I wanted to do it. It's just like I was little, no, I want to be famous or I want people to know me. But, then I got older and I was realizing how important it was what art, I separated the art and the like celebrity of it all.
Right.
And art started to save me, you know what I'm saying? At a certain point, as I got older, I was like, writing music and creating things started like saving my life, so it's just kind of been a whirlwind. But anyways, it's a long story. So anyway, okay, I did Lion King. I got done with that, and it was like people kept saying it's either New York or California.
Right.
And I'm a California boy all the way. I surf, I skateboard. I got to be.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up first 8 years in Indiana, and then I toured for 3 years on Lion King, and then I moved out here.
So you're a California boy, but
I grew up everywhere.
But you were born and raised in
Indianapolis, Indiana.
The Midwest, where it's cold as hell
317,
and it's snow.
But I skateboarded out there, and I was the only kid in my family. You know, all these white boys skateboarding, and they all be playing basketball. Like, I'm going to skate park, man. I want to go skateboard, dude. But I loved it. You know, I always wanted to push the boundaries. I don't ever like being boxed into anything. And obviously, I still play ball and I hoop. I'm very good at it. And just in case anyone has questions, you know, don't get crazy. I hoop. But I always want to push it. You know, I'm like, yo, like life's too short for, and I don't like anyone's version of me but mine. Mm-hmm. You know, and so many people are like, oh, whether it's cultural, you know, expectations or societal expectations, I hate that. I'm gonna do whatever I feel like doing, and as long as I'm not hurting anybody,
right.
and I'm forcing myself to grow and showing other people that there's different avenues. That's why, sorry, I'm going on the tangent here, but
sorry.
Music.
You gotta understand, I own the show.
Okay, baby.
So I don't have to answer to anybody.
Right,
so
right.
We're good.
Good. But music for me, it's messed up right now in my head. Like I'm struggling because, and I've been saying this for a long time. I'm like, yo, a lot of these corporations or people that are running stuff push black people if they're doing a certain thing.
Right.
And what that does is it creates a butterfly effect of any young kid who, you know, wants to leave any situation they're in, and the only people they see are people that are doing this. So I got to be a gangster, I got to shoot, I got to sell, I got to do this in order to do it. And it just becomes a cycle. But when someone comes around and is making we don't, you know, they don't want to push it or put money into it. So that's definitely something I'm trying to fix too, is just show there's other avenues. You don't got to be a rapper, you don't got to be a ball player. You could be a fucking country singer, you can be an opera singer, you can be a damn whatever, you know? So just kind of showing the different avenues, and that is possible, and it's hard for people to realize it's possible until someone does it.
Right.
So that's the goal.
I'm gonna go back to tap.
Yes, please. I love it.
Because you mentioned Gregory Hines.
Oh, that's my guy.
But then you start thinking about Sammy Davis Jr.
Yes.
Many consider the greatest entertainer of all time.
Yes.
Man. When you talk about pure brilliance with tap dancing, Nicholas Brothers.
Yeah, Nicholas Brothers.
So
they put the acrobatic in there before anybody.
I mean that amazing routine.
Yeah, jumping off the stairs, backflip into the splits,
which was done in one take. That was not multiple takes. That to this day is crazy.
And that's the thing too, is like you go online, nobody's looking at that. That's what I'm saying, trying to like bring that. This is what is hard work. This is what talent is. This is what people who put their entire lives into doing something. That's because it just wasn't the art though. They were trying to make it out of the life that they had to live because of the color of their skin and where they were at. So, you know, I'm going hard.
Don't you think it's time to get wealthy? I'm Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach, and my new show on the Black Star Network focuses on the things your financial advisor or bank isn't telling you. So watch Get Wealthy on the Black Star Network.
And of course, contemporary Savion Glover.
Yeah. Oh, I love him. He played. Who did he play in the Bojangles movie with Gregory Hines? He was a little boy on the stage. Mm-hmm. I used to always like want to be him. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all ever met?
I believe that no, I have not. No, I met Jason Samuels, who's an amazing tapper. He used to be the guy that got people off the stage on Showtime at the Apollo. Mm-hmm. So I remember when I met him, I was freaking out. I did Showtime at the Apollo when I was 8 years old, and Sinbad was hosting, and that was the first time I had like performed on a big stage tapping.
Tapped.
I tapped, yeah.
Got it.
And
did you survive? Did you get booed off?
Oh, I survived. You know, I did my thing. I was nervous though. You know, I was nervous. You know, I saw all the videos before. I'm like, but no, I just went out there and did what I could. I did what I could. Yeah, I survived.
Do you still tap?
I can. It's like anything, you do it. If I put some shoes on, give me like a day. I'll be back. I'll be back.
You like ride a bicycle.
Right, for real. It is like that though. And I'm that person that's everywhere I'm at, I'm tapping, I'll be in a line, they'll be like, what are you doing? I'm like, sorry. It's coming at me. Overflow.
When you mention when you mention separating celebrity and the art.
Yeah.
The thing that I think is when I think about media, because I went to communications high school.
Okay.
So at 14, I said, this is what I'm going to do. And it's weird for a lot of people because what they don't quite understand is, to your point, when you know what you want to do, when you know why you want to do
that's
it.
the journey of life.
It then becomes, you're sort of like, you're in this constant, perpetual state of creativity.
Yeah.
And
it's hard to grab one thought.
And and even just sitting here, you're just like this ball of energy. And trust me, and I know what that feels like. And so, how do you harness it? How do you control it? And how do you make sure that it doesn't become unwieldy and you're making progress with the creative juices?
You just talked about that's the answer. I mean, if I had to answer that, I'd be somewhere else. No, that's the key though. That's what I'm working towards, is what you just described, is trying to understand it, because I do have so many thoughts at once. And sometimes I'm like, I described this to my brother one time. I was like, bro, this is how I look at life. Like, I'll see all these issues, I'll start to do one, and then I'm like, oh snap, I got this. And I can never, get one done, because I'm just like, I feel like and it's also something I'm working on within myself. I've said this before, I've had like a key hero complex within myself. I gotta save the world. I don't know where that came from, but but anything that I'm like attracted to, movie, TV, it's always that person. Like, oh, and I even asked my mom, like, how do you know if you're supposed to be the guy, the Martin Luther King of the story, the Jesus of the story? How do you know if that's supposed to be you? And when you do know, what? She was like, I don't know. She was like,
actually, you don't know.
Right.
No, the reality is we don't know. I mean, if you think about Dr. King, graduates from graduate school, goes to Montgomery. His whole focus was, I'm a new preacher. I just want to focus on being a pastor. And they were already meeting. And all of a sudden, when they vote on Montgomery Improvement Association, he wasn't even in the room. And they call him in and they say, you're going to be the leader of the MIA, and you got 20 minutes to go prepare your speech, because it's a whole packed church upstairs. And he's like, all right, 25 years old. Again, recently married, new pastor, goes into the bathroom, begins to write his notes out, and that starts a 381-day boycott. Now, here's the interesting part, and again, it was a one-day boycott, successful, turned to 5-day boycott, that then turned to 381 days. So, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, what he ended up being was never what it started out being.
Right.
It was only just that particular moment. And I think, it's not even a situation of, am I that person? No. When you focus just simply on the work that's in front of you.
Right.
And then if it builds and grows, then it does. I mean, here's this guy who is considered one of the greatest orators in American history, who got a C in his sermonic class.
Yeah.
He got a C.
Yeah.
Who's now considered one of the greatest orators in American history. So the reality is, you don't know.
Right.
There is no class to go to. You just simply do the work, and then things simply go from there.
And that's where I guess you could say I'm starting to realize that more, and just aside from the work stuff, just the mental work too. Because people like tell you, oh, you got to go to the gym, but nobody really, you go to school, there's no mental health education, there's no relationship education, there's no, just being a human, we just kind of like are pushed into this place of, be an employee and serve something else that's bigger than you. But, so I'm always thinking about that type of stuff too, running my own business, creating jobs for other people, creating whatever. Anyways, I'm thirsty for it, whatever it is. You can tell I don't really have quite my finger on it, but.
But it is, so I'm trying to think, what year was it? It was 2000. 1999, gotten divorced, moved back to Dallas, get my home. When I get there, the job that was promised, guy's not returning phone calls. Mm-hmm. So here I am, like, what the hell? I left the job. It's paying me $50,000 a year. I was managing editor of the Houston Defender. I moved back to Dallas. And it was June of 2000. And God begins to speak to me and says, begin to write these things down. So I'm writing these things down. And literally, it's the vision for the next 20 plus years of my life.
Wow.
So I'm writing these things down. I'm talking about it's in all of this, and I still have it. And it's digital, it's television, it's radio, it's all these different things. So then I finish, I'm like, all right, I'm like you, yo, let's roll. He says, hold tight. I need to put some people in place for these things to happen. And all of these things are not going to happen at one time.
Right.
So here I am.
My dad just said that to me today, what you just said.
Restless,
like,
ready to go. And it's like, no, I have to move some people in place. Mm-hmm. And when I think about, so this is 2000. When I joined Chicago Defender, 2004. Then when Jonathan Rodgers becomes CEO of TV One. Now here's the crazy part. He becomes CEO of TV One, he calls me when he hadn't even have the name of the network yet. And he says, your voice is important, we're gonna get you on, but we have to build this network first. Not a problem. Mind you, I first met him in 1989. And so when we talk about that, harnessing that, all those visions, I want to do all these different things. The lesson that I learned over the last 21 years is that all the things that I was given, I've been able to do. There's still more to do, but I had to have the patience to wait to allow them to properly unfold. Yeah. Because if I didn't, then it would have been premature.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have been ready to carry it.
So patience is actually, which is also biblical, because Habakkuk chapter 2, it says write the vision down, make it plain. Then it says, wait. And that's actually the hardest thing.
It is,
for a really creative person to say, hold up, but why did you put all this stuff in my head? Why did you give me this whole vision?
And that's what I lean on. That's what I lean on when I get to, I'm like, okay, but I know you wouldn't have me thinking about these things or wanting these things if you weren't gonna figure it out and make it happen when it's supposed to happen, you know?
And it's not that it's, because when you say it, I start this thing over here, what I've learned is I can nibble at this, but I can't invest a lot of my time in it because I'm actually doing this over here. Mm. And so it's sort of like, what's my primary, what's my primary job, what's my side hustle? Right. Then all of a sudden, and eventually what might end up happening is they sort of even out, now I gotta make a decision, what was my side might now become my main, and now it sort of shifts this way. Yeah. But it's learning, understand what happens at this time in life, and knowing when to say, let me pause that because I got to focus on this, because this actually is going to serve as the foundation
for
that
all
makes
of it.
that possible.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
You said your dad mentioned that to you.
No, he mentioned when you were talking about just the patience thing. I remember today I was talking to him and I was being honest. I was like, yo, I'm just kind of feeling like numb lately. Just like, you know, I'm not motivated. I'm just like the last week I've just been like sleeping and just like, you know, didn't have the you know what I'm saying? And he's like, but you have to learn to settle in all that. He's like, son, the things you've done in 25 years, people haven't done in 60, 70 years. And he was like, you have to live in that, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, I get that, you know, but that's just who I am. Like, I'm like, it's not enough. Like, you know what I mean?
Pull up a chair, take your seat. The Black Tape with me, Dr. Greg Carr, here on the Black Star Network. Every week, we'll take a deeper dive into the world we're living in. Join the conversation only on the Black Star Network.
I hit my career goals by 29. I mean, again, communications high school, top student there. Yeah. Top journalism student in Texas A&M. So you're sitting here, you go, okay, all right. So I want to run a newspaper. I want to cover political conventions. I want to cover major news stories. I want to be news director of a TV station or radio station, like all these things. So
Yeah.
these are the career goals. Hit it at 29.
Wow.
So then it was like,
Now what?
okay, now what?
Yeah.
And so then it becomes again. So you sort of have this pursuit where people are like, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, and then that becomes the driving force, as opposed to no. What I'm actually doing is really most important.
Right. What's in front of you? That's when you said that too. I was like,
it's
yeah.
the work. It's just, and so then when you focus on that, all those things are still gonna happen.
Yeah.
But it's still enjoying that moment, the work, and then what it reveals and what you're pursuing, and then and honing your craft, and all of a sudden, as you get older, that thing begins to unfold, and then that's when you become, man, thank goodness I went through all those different steps, because it forms the foundation and the basis for everything that follows.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, like, a part of my mind that I may like ignore is what you're saying has been proven time and time and again throughout my life. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I've felt that way about, in time it revealed itself. So it's just, remembering that, sitting in that, yeah.
So right now, that you're doing television.
Yep.
You're doing movies.
Yep.
You've got music going on.
Yeah.
So all these things, what is actually main priority? What's second? What's
to
third?
me right now it's music, but then again it's not, because it's more of the business side of the music. But for me, like, making music is easy. I make music. I have like 300 unreleased songs, making albums, making videos.
You said 300 what?
Unreleased songs.
Wow.
Yeah, just sitting. And that's when I go back to the unmotivated, I'm like, I can go downstairs and make a new song so I can sit for another year and a half.
So when you say make a new song, so are you writing them?
Oh, yeah.
Performing them? And
I don't produce. So typically I'll just go through my computer. People send me beats all the time. Just beat packs. So I send you like 20 beats or whatever. So I'll go through, boom, boom, write a song. Typically it's melody, and then I'll write it once I feel that it feels right, and then I'll write words to it. And then another way, this is one of the only other ways I do it. One of my best friends, an amazing guitarist, Brunius Charles, I'll send him a top line for a hook. Like, I remember just the other day, there was a song, I was like, yo, sometimes people be in relationships and everything be going great, and you'll just want to mess it up for no reason, because you don't feel comfortable in a safe zone. Like, when things are going good,
like, oh my goodness, like this is not real.
Yeah, maybe like when you were younger, the only thing that felt like love was something dysfunctional or whatever. So it's like, now that I have some, so I was like making a song, I was like, why do we keep stopping at a green light? Like, every time if things are going good, the sign says go, why do we keep stopping at a green light? So I sent him, it was like, why do we keep stopping at a green light? Everything is all good, something wanna, but why do we keep stopping at a green light? So then he'll send back up, and then I'll come back and write it. But so something like that. And then he'll send me back like a loop of the song, a loop of the guitar, and then I'll write the whole song to it. So those are kind of like the only two ways I typically write stuff. But again, with the business side, I'm just like, yo, man, again, the things that I see that are, circling and that people love is just.
So we say the business side. All right. So are you with a label?
I'm with Empire. Yeah.
And is your frustration? I would take it as frustration.
For sure.
That it's taking forever to release stuff. The process.
I guess just when things are released, I wish they were released in a grander way. I guess. Simply put.
No. So let's unpack that.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to even that aspect of it, and you mentioned the business of it. You mentioned earlier want to be CEO, entrepreneur, providing jobs.
Yeah.
What are you going through to say, okay, this is your vision, how this should be done, but you know what? I think it could be grander, and this is how I see it, and this is how I want to execute it.
Yeah, and I've been through kind of a similar situation. I was signed to Atlantic Records when I was 15, so I kind of get it, but it's it's frustrating. You know, you tell. Well, and also you're in a business of like salesmanship. Like everybody's selling something so that they can have, you know, a piece of you.
Right.
And you'll say A, B, and C, and that's the funny thing. Like a lot of these people say all these things to artists, and this is their life, you know. But to them, it's a business, and I get that. But anyways, I just want to be an artist.
Well, what about the independent route, or actually the self-ownership route?
That's what I'm thinking is happening intentionally, so that I'm seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's happening to me. Things are happening the way they're happening, so that I'm like, oh, okay, I need to do that. You know.
Have you taken some time? And unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But to go back and read and listen to what Prince was talking about.
Oh yeah, I mean he's tattooed right here. Y'all can get that.
Because his whole deal was not just owning your masters, but owning all aspects of who you are. And he was encouraging artists to stop signing record deals, but only do distribution deals.
Yeah. So I may start doing that too. But yeah, I just
because when you say you got 300 songs, I'm like, oh,
no, it's ridiculous.
No, I'm about to say you got like Prince had his vault, which really wasn't a vault.
Yeah.
It was just a room that he had stuff locked up in.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing when you said that I was kind of like, oh, that sounds like because when he ended his Warner Brother contract, gave them 700 songs. He's like, okay, y'all can keep these, and bounced.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, bro. The amount of music, and even like today, I was with her on the way here. And I played like 3 new songs that I made like the other day. She's like, okay, so what are we doing with these ones? And I was like, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what we're doing with them. But
that's why. Look, again, I totally understand it.
Yeah.
Because, look, I've run 3 black newspapers. I've been news director, morning anchor of a radio station, news editor of a national black magazine, run Tom Jones BlackAmericaWeb.com. Worked at CNN for 6 years, TV One. I mean, all different places.
Yeah.
And one of the greatest frustrations was, and I'm telling you, I absolutely identify with where you are, was feeling as if I had on a straitjacket, handcuffs, and duct tape.
Yeah.
Because folks place you in a box. This is who you are. This is your skill set.
Yeah.
As opposed, it's like, no, hold up. I can write, I can produce, I can do this, I can do this.
Yeah.
No, we only want you to do this. And that was always the frustration.
Yeah.
And it was, okay, sure, we have a newspaper, but like literally I was running black newspapers in 1998 and saw in 1998 Today digitally.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there talking to people and they look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, I'm trying to explain to y'all where we're about to go.
Yeah.
And so as all the things were happening, I was grabbing as much independence as possible where I could. And then if somebody says, no, you can only do this here, then my deal was like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do this. You're gonna pay me for this, but I must have the freedom to do these things over here. Otherwise, I would go absolutely crazy if I was only limited to doing just this one thing.
Yeah.
And that was because the 2 words that have completely defined my career are freedom and flexibility.
I love that.
Freedom and flexibility. I have to have the flexibility to use all of my muscles, to use all of my skill set, and I have to have the freedom and not be held back. And I have been, since I was early 20s, I was willing to take less money.
Yeah.
To have my freedom and flexibility.
Dude, I'm totally on the same page. Again, when it comes to music stuff, I just want it to be received the way that when I'm putting the work into it, you know what I'm saying? And I haven't been paid off music ever. Like, I mean, every time I've gotten paid, I think it's gone paying back to the label or whatever. And I don't want to get paid. I just want it to be, exactly like again.
No, you want to get paid.
Music is one of those things.
Let's be clear, you want to get paid.
Yes, for sure.
You want to get paid, but that's also why I prefer why I do like the independent piece, because it was like when I published the book. Mm-hmm. I was talking with the author, and she was a New York Times bestseller, and I said, we're on my fourth printing. We've already sold about 10,000 copies. And she's like, okay, how much the book selling for? I said, oh yeah. I said, we've generated about $40,000 in revenue. She says, wow, you've actually made more money than I've gotten in royalties, and I'm out here, hawking this book on the New York Times bestseller list. And for a lot of folk, for them, I've got the record deal, I've got the book deal, and so that's sort of the validation. And I was kind of like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
For me, it was the ownership of the product, and then putting it out there on my own timetable. Again, freedom, flexibility.
Yeah, right.
And then when I got paid, it came directly to Roe.
Right.
There was no middle person. So it was kind of like, buy my book, autograph it, swipe it, right in my bank account.
Nice.
So I was not waiting on a report 3-4 months later, 6 months later, telling me how much I made. And again, for other people, for them it was, yeah, but it's independent, it's self-published. I'm sitting there going, boo, when you get an ISBN number, it's the same whether they got it, whether I got it. Yeah. But it's not getting caught up in the hype of the label, the book publishing company, whatever.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, but still wanting to get paid for it.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Wanting to have the control to be able, to your point, to do it the way you want to do it, to sell it, to promote it, to build it up that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punch!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?
But on the positive note, I mean, just making it in general has been one of the best things that's happened to me. Because I remember when I was young, I was getting records. People sending me records that are already done, and I'm recording them, or people telling me where to stand, what to wear. And so the fact that I'm able to write my own stuff, direct my own videos, kind of just leave who I am in my work is amazing.
And that's the creative piece.
Yeah.
But then the flip side is what I call the business of the business. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of folk who are really great creative people who really don't get the business of the business.
Right. So I've been looking for that, I think, too. Whether it's a certain person, I don't know. I've just been like, God, I'm open to it. Mm-hmm. Whoever, because I know that I'm not that. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm supposed to be that, then I'll start learning or whatever. But even if there's someone to teach me, I'm definitely open to it. But
yeah, that is critical. I mean, it is, and again, going to who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? What is my skill set? I remember I was in a meeting with, this had to be about 2008, 2009. Obama gets elected, and I'm like on fire. I'm talking about, I'm speaking and people doing stuff. And so this major publisher wants to meet with me. And I'm like, all right, cool, we go meet. So I'm sitting in a room, and we're in New York City, and big conference room, and it's about 5 of them around. And so they're asking me, so what kind of ideas that you have? And so I mentioned this one and this one and this one. And they're like, yeah, we think that's really more a magazine article. So, they said, probably the third one. I said, I'm sorry. I said, let me be real clear. I ain't asked to meet y'all. Y'all asked to meet me. I said, now everything I just told y'all, it will be a book. I don't really need y'all to publish a book. And they were all sort of like, who the hell does he think he is?
Yeah.
I said, no, I've already published, by that time, I'd already published 3.
Yeah.
I said, now, I can take off writer hat. I said, and we could put on book publisher CEO hat. And we could talk about glossy or matte cover, the paperweight, font. I said, distribution. I literally, in a blink of an eye,
named it all the stuff.
Went right to the business side.
Right.
I said, so I want all of y'all to understand. There's the talent side, there's a CEO side.
Right.
I can do both.
Right.
And they were all like, okay. never signed with them, and I knew, and because I knew right then.
No, yeah.
I knew right then I couldn't sign with them.
But you can tell when you meet someone if they're meant to be a part of your energy or not, for sure.
Yeah, and it was just like, but the thing that got me was, I know this is a book, so you telling me no means nothing to me.
It does nothing. That's how I feel about music, you know, and it's always somebody who's never sang a song in their life, someone who's never made a beat in their life. Like, actually, I think the hook, no. Actually, no. I appreciate you, but no. No. I've been in, bro, I used to, when I first got signed, they used to like have vocal producers and spend bread, like $5,000 on vocal producers to come in and record me. And I record myself now. Everything I do, I record myself.
Right.
But, you know, people record me and the niggas couldn't sing. They'd be like, actually do the line like this. Oh, yeah. I said, oh, you want me to sing it like that? That's how you want me to sing it? All right. And they'd be like, well, not like that. I'd be like, that's how you sang it. Do you want me to do it like that or no? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But again, it's learned. You know, you live and you learn. You realize what works, what doesn't work, and you start doing it your own way, like you're saying. You got to be the CEO of your own stuff. And yeah, that's what this shark is. It's my company. It's Born Art. Mm-hmm. This is the logo. So it's a baby shark, and the reason why it's a shark is because sharks will die if they stop swimming. And that's my dad always telling me, like, slow down, Trevor, slow down. You never stop. You're always on go. You're always on go. I mean, you even said it this time. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it's like he's biting the paintbrush or whatever. But Born Art is just, I was like, I had an epiphany, and I've been feeling this way for a long time. Just like so many people are trying so hard to be anything but themselves. You know what I'm saying? Anything but themselves. Because they don't think they're enough. That's why you got kids out here, you know, killing themselves, taking their life because they feel like who they are is not up to par with everyone else's beliefs. And I'm like, yo, everything was done delicately and intentionally. And so everybody was born art. You know, we were all born beautiful. We were born amazing. Whatever we're meant to do, only we could do that. Mm-hmm. And also it represents, again, like you were saying, not being boxing Renaissance man is kind of like also the thing of, you know, hey, we direct movies, we shoot videos, we act, we sing, we write TV, we, you know, just there's no limit.
And I do think there is I think there is a fine line between having this multiple skill set, being really creative, and then being unfocused.
Yeah.
Because there are some people I know, they can do a lot, and I sit there and I'm like, okay, can you please show me where you completed something?
Yeah, right, for sure.
And we'll have these conversations, and they'll come back to me and they're like, yeah, but I don't understand, you know, why do you think are taking off of me? I'm like, because you didn't finish, Jack.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure, you wrote a book, but it's 80% finished.
Yeah.
Then sure, you worked on this documentary, but it's 60% finished. And I'm like, when are you going to finish up? Because at the end of the day, you have to, because it was something you just said. It was something you just said when you said about the creative process and in making it. So my wife's an ordained minister. Had a book. It took me 2 months to edit the book. It took me 2 months to get through the first 5 pages. It literally gave me a headache.
Yeah.
Because what happens is we actually talk differently than how we write.
For sure. Everybody writes about how they want to be. I feel like want to be remembered when you write.
It's just different. It's just, I mean, the audience listens differently than how they read.
Yeah.
So it was painful for me reading this book. I was like, okay, fine. Okay, I got to edit this book. And I was whacking stuff left and right, lacking stuff. I mean, driving her crazy. I was like, look, I ain't married to you. I'm the editor. So, I mean, I was killing stuff. But here's what was interesting. Book gets published. It's about 3-4 months go by. I was like, come with me. I should go in my office. I said, what's that? Oh, it's my books. I said, no. What's that in the corner? I don't understand, that's my books. No, what's in the corner is $20,000. It should not be sitting in the corner. It should be out of those boxes in somebody's hand. And I said, the absolute easiest part of this is to write the book. The second easiest thing is to publish the book. The hardest thing, the most important thing, is to sell the book. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people who they think just writing the book is it.
Yeah, no.
And I'm like, no. If you actually want people to read it or hear it or watch it, You got to
Gotta
put
go
it out
sell
there.
it, yeah.
And that's I think that's probably for a lot of really creative people is a hard thing to really fundamentally grasp.
It is because it almost feels inauthentic. I feel like, I'm gonna speak personally for me, I know I struggle with that. You know, that's the main thing people on my team is like, you don't post enough or you don't talk to people and you don't blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, because I don't like doing things because I feel like I have to do them. And when I make music, I don't make music because I feel like I have to make music because I love it.
Right.
And so if I'm gonna talk about it, I want it to be real. I want it to be something like this, you know? Like we're kicking the shit. But like when you get on here and it's like, I just feel like I'm a monkey almost. Like I'm just like performing for some like, and it's just me, but I'm working on that because I know it's a part of it, but I'm like, how much am I willing to not be myself in order to sell something that I think?
But here's the deal though. You can still be yourself.
Right.
So it's actually not I'm being different. What it is I am being me.
Right.
So when I shot the video saying, yo, I'm about to have this interview with Trevor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, saved it, put my Black Star Network logo on it, posted it. Yes. Do I want them to watch?
I don't mean just stuff like there's people that take it way farther than I don't mean.
But no.
Okay,
But what I'm saying is, but the thing is, because it's really how what your motivation is in terms of doing it.
Right.
And so for me, I don't even feel like I'm selling it.
Mm-hmm.
My whole deal is, this is me. Yo, you about to chop it up, here it is. And when it comes out, I want y'all to see it. Now, I'm not sitting here going, oh my God, it got 78,000 views.
Yeah.
Why didn't it get 200,000 views? No, because for me, we did it, it's out. If you watch it, great. If you don't, that's fine.
Yeah.
But we still did it. I'm sitting here, setting it up. When we were going through, like, okay, you know what? I want to see some color right there. We had this, so let's add this. And so it's that whole creative process.
Yeah.
But even when I'm pushing it, it doesn't feel like, okay, I gotta go out.
Right.
I gotta push this interview. I gotta sit here, and because yes, that's a labor.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the joy of I produced it, I created it, we put it together.
Yeah.
But I still own it, control it, feel it,
Right.
even when I'm talking to people. So it doesn't feel like it's labor.
Yeah.
It's still a part of just who I am.
Yeah.
And so it's easy for me.
Yeah.
People are like, man, when you post that, I'm like, yeah, because I just treat it like I'm just having a conversation with one person.
Yeah.
And that's literally how I approach posting my stuff on social media.
Yeah.
I don't look at it as, oh man, I gotta post this thing or I gotta satisfy these people. No, it's just, yo, I'm gonna do me.
Right. And maybe that's the way I should start looking at it too.
And it takes a lot of pressure. Like I have never taken a photo and used a filter. No, I don't.
Yeah, no, I mean,
my whole deal is I take a photo.
Yeah.
I mean, I have other people that go, oh my God, what are you doing? I'm like, I know how to shoot a selfie.
Yeah.
So I'm not using the filter. So I don't even go through that whole. See, again, to me, what you just described, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
It's, oh, I gotta fix this, I gotta change this. Oh my goodness, how am I looking? How's this whole deal? Now that becomes work. No. Just gonna post it.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting here, like I don't get people. There's a couple of sisters I know, one is a television show, another one's in Dallas. We're taking pictures, and I have to take like 20 damn photos.
You need at least 25
and
to 30.
I said, I will never take pictures with y'all again.
Yeah.
I said, because you get on my damn nerves.
Yeah.
I said, because I take a selfie in 3 seconds and we're done. Click, let's roll.
Yeah.
I said, this sounds like work. I said, this is a photo shoot.
Right. And y'all ain't paying me.
I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
I said, click. I posted like, okay, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm posting it. And I tell them, I said, this side of the photo look good.
Yeah.
I said, I don't take bad photos. I said, so y'all got issues. You need to work on your look.
Yeah,
I said,
right.
This side of the photo, fine.
Right.
But that's how. So I totally get how you feel like it becomes work and then it becomes overwhelming, and then you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, oh my God, it's driving me crazy.
For sure.
As opposed to just, no, I'm gonna do me.
Right.
It's gonna be natural. It's gonna be organic. It's gonna be free flowing, and people actually receive it that way, and they also know, oh, that's just being regular.
Right. Exactly.
Just being regular. When you talk about blackness and what happens in black culture, we're about covering these things that matter to us, speaking to our issues and concerns.
This is a genuine people-powered movement.
There's a lot of stuff that we're not getting. You get it, and you spread the word.
We wish to plead our own cause. Too long have others spoken for us. We cannot tell our own story if we can't pay for it. This is about covering us. Invest in black-owned media. Your dollars matter. We don't have to keep asking them to cover our stuff. So please support us in what we do, folks. We want to hit 2,000 people, $50 this month, raise $100,000. We're behind 100,000, so we want to hit that. Y'all money makes this possible. Check some money orders. Go to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C. 20037-0196. The Cash App is $RM Unfiltered. PayPal is R Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle is Roland@RolandSMartin.com. So you got these 300 songs, okay?
Oh, yeah, man.
All right, so you're sitting there. So what are you gonna do? How you gonna approach it?
I think I'm gonna start maybe just releasing like songs instead of doing the whole album thing. I mean, and it sucks because I feel like I'm kind of catering to a certain audience because I know like I'm an album guy. I listen to albums top to bottom, and
you know that's old school.
Yeah, but that's who that's why it's so difficult for me in this day and age musically because of the people that I grew up loving. Like, you know what I'm saying? Michaels, the
You
Brian
know
McKnights.
you're absolutely sounding right now like Prince.
Love him.
Prince. First of all, people forget Prince had a download music service before iTunes existed.
Didn't know that.
Yes. Before iTunes ever existed, when Prince left Warner Brothers, he was selling downloadable music.
Wow.
And the reason he kept his music off of iTunes for the longest is because he did not like folks were buying singular songs.
Not only are folks buying singular songs, but they're buying them for so cheap. And that's the thing, too, like, when I think about, again, the way music is sold today, like, I spend hours, bro, hours in the studio. Hours by myself, recording, and then going back, retouching some. Oh, then I'm fixing this, then I'm doing the harmonies. Oh, those harmonies don't sound right, I gotta redo the harmonies. Boom, I put a song out, and then people can listen to it on YouTube for free, whatever, you know. And again, I don't do it for the money, but then when I think about time and labor,
yes,
I do think about, I always say, like, life is like a spring. However far you push it down, you should feel that, recoil or bounce back of whatever work you put in. But going back to the album stuff, like, me and my brother will sit and for hours and be like, okay, no, this song first, no, this song, boom, boom, in order. Finally have it, and then people are like, oh, we want this song, or they're like ready for the next album and it just came out. I'm like, y'all did not listen to this enough times. For it to be.
Truth, I'm telling you, as you're sitting here talking, Prince was like that, and in many ways, Prince was like the old school. What folks didn't realize, jazz artists used to put out 4 or 5 albums a year.
And the songs would be 8 minutes, 9 minutes.
So the creative juices of those artists, you said 300 songs.
Yeah.
Yo, you put out an album, got 10 songs on it, you put out 5 albums in a year, you drop 50 albums, 50 songs in 1 year. Whereas this industry now is set up 8, 9, 10, and we're gonna ride that album for 18 months, 2 years, 3 years. I
just feel like I'm just
there you go.
Getting older. I'm like,
there you
what
go.
the heck is happening? You know,
Which is why for your sanity is gonna have to be do your own thing.
Right. You see it.
You gonna go crazy, dude. If they sit and tell you we gonna drop this album and we gonna ride this sucker for 24 months, you gonna go crazy.
Oh yeah. I will. I am. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you are going to absolutely lose your mind.
And then it's crazy too, because you make a song, you're like, oh, this is dope in this time. You wait a year or two, then you hear somebody make a song and put the same lyric or something, you're like, I did this shit 2 years ago. Oh, and he's the first one that did it. But I made it, But it goes back to what you're saying, be the leader of your own ship, be the captain of your own ship. I think I might have to start doing that though, for sure.
Yeah, you will absolutely go crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Because I don't believe, I remember we God, what year was it? CNN. I remember. So Mary Matlin's Republican. They had me and Mary doing this segment, which actually could have been. They should have had turned into a show, but they didn't want to do it. And so I remember we were leaving CNN building at one time Warner Center, Columbus Circle, and I was I'm talking about I was in the exact same position as you. I was frustrated because here I was. I knew I was ready to do a show. They were not going to give me a show, but I was valuable to the network because the black viewers I brought in.
Yeah.
And it was frustrating. And this is what she said to me, and I think this applies to you. She said, Roland, you are a thoroughbred who they have locked in the stall.
Right.
And she said, thoroughbreds are meant to run.
Yeah.
And she said, you are kicking the shit out of that stall, the walls, and the doors. And she said, thoroughbreds have to be released to run. They literally cannot stand being locked up.
Yeah.
They have to run.
Yeah.
So I think you have to figure out in this process how you're going to be able to run.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because see, as really thinking about and then processing what you said, I think part of what's also driving you crazy is that because you're not able to run in music, it spills over to frustration in other areas because something over here you're not seeing be completed.
Yeah, fulfilled.
And fulfilled.
I've said that to some people I know. I was like, that's the only. First of all, I'm a peaceful person because I've kind of seen the pattern in life. Nothing stays bad, nothing stays good. It's a dance, and I've learned to dance with it smoothly. And I've seen like the fruits of my labor in other areas, but when it comes to music, I feel like I haven't. The amount of time I put in, I don't think I've seen the return on that I'd like to see. And so that would be my only. If I can't be mad because I'm alive and I'm breathing, but if I could say I'm disappointed by something, it'd be that. It'd be musically, I feel like I'm just, and I'm not, I'm never a braggy person or anything like that. I just know that I'm good. And I know that I write great music. I know that I sing it. And I know I put on a good show. I, play instruments. So it's just like, there's no bias from that, my opinion
right.
of me. I love music. And I'll see stuff of me on screen and be like, oh, that was shit. I could have done way better than that. Or I see a live show I did, oh, that was pitchy. I could have done way better than that. It was awful. You know what I'm saying? So I'm never like, just because it's me, I think it's good. It's like, yo, I'm like that with anybody I see do what I do. I need to see that they've, put the work and time into it. But yeah, that would be the only thing I'm like, I could,
You've worked with a lot of great people.
I'm very blessed to say that, yes, and been inspired by a lot of people.
Who are the folks you say that you've worked with that you've really learned from?
Dude, there's so many people, and it's like most of the people that if I like think about it, that if I say I learned something, it's not even something they taught me. It's just watching them live, as just a bystander, and just seeing like how they handle a room or they're doing a scene. But I'm trying to think. I'm just gonna say because I'm a huge fan, and because there's some other stuff that I can't get into, but Andre 3000 was just like one of those people, like I said, that I just watched, but also like he reached out to me and like communicated with me on some other stuff, and I was just very, very like blown away, like that he would even care enough, you know what I'm saying?
And see, it's funny that you brought him up because he is in that space right now where he is completely not unmotivated to do music, but it's just sort of in this no man's land of he's done all these different things, and it's just sort of like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, right.
I heard this podcast he did that was just amazing. And
I gotta see it. I haven't seen that.
It was. I think it was with. I forgot was it Dave Rubin? I can't remember who it was with. And it was just very interesting listening to him, how he said, I'm just not in a space where I want to do music because I'm not impressed with what I'm hearing.
Right. And that's another thing too, when you were asking me earlier about myself and how do I like my energy and all that stuff, I feel like I perform.
Rick Rubin.
Rick Rubin, yes. I feel like I perform best when I'm challenged. And someone's like, you can't do that shit. That's like when I'm like, okay. And I feel like I would do my very best, even like if I go to the gym or anything, like someone saying I can't do something, that's when I really, and I've got to work on not needing that to push myself.
So, okay, which
forward.
means, and that's where you create a situation where you actually are the one challenging yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I don't look at other people. I don't sit here and say, someone's like, oh, well, your show is not on this platform. I'm like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I literally, for me, I'm actually competing against myself.
Right.
I'm challenging myself.
Right.
How great.
It's the only person that I think is as good as me.
There you go.
Honestly.
There you go. And it's hard people understand that.
Yeah.
Who else? Andre 3000, who else?
Andre 3000, dude. Sorry, I'm going back through the brain here. Because I have met a lot of people. I'll go back, it's kind of the same show. John Ridley was a director that he pushed me in a way that I didn't like, but then I realized I loved it. You know what I'm saying? He made me uncomfortable.
Directed you in what?
And the same, the American Crime.
Got it.
That I did with Andre 3000. And I remember we did like one scene and he kept saying like, I was doing this scene and I kept like moving. And he was like, nope, start over, nope, don't touch me. And he did it for so long and I was getting pissed. And then I watched it back and I was like, oh, that's why he was doing that. And that's when I fell in love with directing. Because I was gonna quit acting at one point and then I did American Crime and I re-fell in love with everything that has to do with creating movies or TV. So that's another person. Oh, I'm just trying to think. And I know I'm gonna leave here and I'm gonna be like, oh, why didn't I say this person? Dude, my older brother is one. Ian Jackson, shout out. Dude, I don't know. I'm trying to think.
We just lost someone. What did you learn from Michael K. Williams?
Ooh-wee. Yep, see, that would have been the one of those. I mean, yeah, even like talking about that it's difficult for me. Even when it happened, still hasn't really. But yeah, no, I just think that it was like belief in oneself. I felt very like, I posted about it. I was just like, yo, I felt very weak and afraid of my greatness and my potential. And I felt like I was self-sabotaging because I would rather it happen from some like other occurrence than me not being good enough. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather be like, oh, any other reason than that. So let me make it easier on myself if I fail. You know what I'm saying? The hardship of it all. And I remember I was like crying. I like fell to the ground. He like picked me up and he was like, look at where you're standing. Look at why you're here. He was like, you wouldn't be here if you weren't supposed to be here. And again, what I care about more than anything is how a person treats other people. I don't give enough how good you are at what you do. There's a lot of rich a-holes. There's a lot of talented dicks out there, but it's good people that I'm impressed by because life is, long, and when you endure it for so long, it's easy to just kind of react to fucking tired, and just kind of, lash out on people. When you can still hold yourself together and see someone and be compassionate and show love, those things impress me.
Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punch!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig? See, it was interesting watching Superfly and the role that he played in the movie.
Yeah.
And when he died,
Yeah.
I immediately thought about I wonder if that mirrored their relationship off screen.
Yeah, definitely. It was obviously it's less harsh, And again, the things, it wasn't like he was pressing on me a way to be, but it was the way that he was. You know what I'm saying? And again, the reason why I was talking about the way you treat people, he treated people, everybody, with love. Even if it was something he didn't want to do. Oh no, I'm not gonna do that, beloved. Thank you so much, though. You know what I'm saying? Like.
And he was very much about energy.
Yeah.
Because we met at the American Black Film Festival. We had met several times before.
Yeah.
But at ABFF Honors in 2020 was the first time we actually got a chance to talk.
Yeah.
And he just kept saying, man, I love your energy.
Yeah.
I love your energy. He's like, yo, he said, we gotta exchange numbers.
Yeah.
And we never got a chance
Yeah.
to talk after that, to interview after that. And I hate that we didn't.
Yeah.
But he was very much about.
Yeah. You can feel it. He's in tune, and there's people like that when you meet, you just kind of know, and that's why we hit it off, because we were the same. We care about things, like we care about like love, dude. Like this world is so filled with the other thing, and so many people trying to destroy it. So when you find someone that's genuinely like, yo, I just want to see people be happy, and I want to see people do shit they love to do. And I want to fix the problems. You meet people like that, you're like, wow, those are people you wanna live life with. You wanna confide in and hopefully see them when you die.
Right. Now that was your first lead.
Yeah. Well, I did Burning Sands, but that was my first theatrical release. Yeah.
And what did you learn from that?
Learned a lot. I learned a lot from that. But I think I'm gonna answer the question, but first I'm gonna go to the thing that I'm proud of myself about, that I've always been, is like, once I'm there, let's do it. I don't let things, once, I can do all of the worrying up until the point, but once it's like action, or once I'm in the place I'm supposed to be at and do the job, like, I do it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of myself with that, because I could have crushed under all the pressure, but I think one thing I learned with that is just, I mean, I was growing up when I was doing it. I was 21. I was playing 27. And even people I was doing the movie with, like, people that were, like, PAs or whatever, when we got done, they were like, we thought you were, like, 30. I was like, what? I just turned 21. I got the job when I was, like 20. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, from auditioning to it being out, it was, like, 2 years. Yeah, I was, like, 19 to, like, 21. And so, it's just anything, it's a job. Obviously, I had days where I was like into it, other days I could have done better, I know of, but all in all, I think it was just like, it was me having to feel comfortable being that guy.
Do you want to be that guy?
Yeah.
Do you want to, Chadwick was that guy.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan.
And I've always wanted that. I've always wanted that. But it was just the first time feeling it, being like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot.
And so moving forward, because again, when you talk about this generational thing of being that guy, being the lead is a different animal. Will Smith's talked about it. Denzel's talked about it. Sam Jackson. And so.
And acting, man, just, I like good actors.
What are you doing to prepare yourself moving forward to be that guy?
I've been doing a little bit of working out. I don't know if you guys can see in the camera. If you look at that bicep right there, I'm joking.
So you wait for your Will Smith Bad Boys shirt flying open, Michael Bay jump over the car, run down the street moment.
I'm waiting for those movies. They don't make those anymore, man. Where's the Bad Boys at? Where's the thing? You know what I'm saying? Deja Vu's, The Man on Fires. I'm waiting for that. And Superfly was cool, but it was like, obviously it's over the top, and I want something still action, a little more grounded. You know what I'm saying?
So are you pursuing those things? Are you saying, Mama, look for them scripts?
Look for them scripts, but they're not making those scripts. So I'm also trying to so here's something I'm in the process of doing. I'm cleaning out my closet. No pun intended. That's a song, Eminem, one of my favorite rappers. But I'm literally cleaning out my closet because I need to have an area that I do my stuff in. And I feel like, again, we were talking about, like, I'm all over the place.
Right.
So I need a place I go in and I'm like, okay, boom. I have all these ideas I'm writing down for movies I want to write. Oh, right. I have all these ideas for TV I want to write. So I'm trying to do that so I can just make these things. And what I've realized is all the things I'm attracted to kind of have the same message. So, like, I wrote this down in my journal, but it was like movies like Matrix, Snowpiercer, The Lorax, all about, you know, just people kind of waking up, being okay with not knowing anything, being ignorance is bliss type vibe. And I feel like that's the kind of world we're living in. So I'm like, I want to make movies that propel people out of their chair to be like, whoa, I could, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what makes me like tick. And so those movies, I watch them over and over again.
Question, do you meditate?
I surf occasionally, and I do yoga occasionally.
Okay.
Those are my kind of meditation zones.
Here's the room I think that you need.
Okay.
Because I actually had the exact same thing. I had many of my faith-based spiritual books in this room. Mm. Barren room, table, candle, chair. Mm. And it was a space that I would go into, and I would completely shut everyone off.
Yeah.
And the whole point of meditating and praying was to slow everything down.
Right.
And because I'm saying where it takes me 5 to 6 hours to go to sleep.
Oh yeah, I can't. I have to sleep with the TV on.
It drives me absolutely crazy, and I will.
Yeah.
I've gotten up and written whole business plans.
Yeah.
So, when I was going through that period when I was writing those things down,
yeah,
I would go into that space and completely slow everything down, and then what would happen is, then that's where the clarity would then come in, where I was then able to go, now go here.
Yeah. And it was clearer. It was clearer. The message to do it, or the feeling to do it, was like,
because when you said clean up.
Yeah.
When you said clean out your closet.
Yeah, because I also, when it comes to like clothes and things, remember I was talking to you earlier about like people tell me to wear things. Right. I could wear the same thing every day and be fine. Like, so I'd rather put my energy towards something that is gonna help my, you know, what I.
So what you just described when you said clean out your closet, that applies also mentally.
Yeah.
Because when there's a lot of stuff going on, you have to literally toss all this sort of stuff out.
Right.
And doing the deep meditation, slowing everything down, seeking clarity, really allowed for me to be laser focused. And after I did that over a period of years, when it then began to happen, it was as if next. It was sort of like you mentioned the Matrix. It was sort of like that point when Neo hit that point.
And he was like, "Whoa, scoot, one hand in the whole drum."
Literally how it moved when it came to the career.
Right.
And people were sitting here. I was sitting with colleagues. They were like, "Okay, how are you doing CNN and TV One and Tom Jones Morning Show? And you got speeches and you're doing books. How are you doing all those things?" And I said, "Actually, it's not hard."
Yeah.
They would look at me like, "Are you nuts? What is wrong with you?"
Yeah.
And it literally wasn't hard. It was because I had gone through that process.
Yeah.
Where
you had already sorted it out. So then it was just picking up the boom. I already have this done. Right.
And then knowing, finish this. And what it also did was, because you said earlier, I need to find that person on the business side.
Right.
What it also did was, it allowed for me then to know, I call it self-assessment. It allowed for me to then know what I was really good at, what I needed someone for a designated reason. And then when I went out and I came across people, it was, that's that person. That's that person.
Yeah.
That's that person.
Right.
Whereas before, it would have been so much
It could have been that person, but you can't even really see it.
I would have never been able to understand
You can't even decipher it. Right.
And that's why. So it wasn't even let me put up all these ideas on the wall. It was Catherine Ponder I was given the book. She has a book called Open Your Mind to Receive. It was an amazing book. Open Your Mind to Receive. And that was the thing that I had to remove all these other different things and allow me to be able to. And then when I came out of that, I'm talking about, and it was, you know, there were a number of sermons I listened to, books I read. But it was when I say it was clarity, it was I'm going here.
Yeah.
I'm achieving this. And there were others who were saying, what are you doing? You have no idea.
Yeah, you couldn't
Don't
even
worry
understand.
about it.
Even if I tried to explain it to you, you wouldn't quite get it.
And that's why today, even with this, people like, what were you doing? They were like, what are you talking about? When TV One ended my show, folks were like, are you crazy? I said, no, this is what I'm launching. And this is what it's gonna look like. And this is what's gonna end up being. And this is what we're gonna be doing. And they all told me I was absolutely out of my mind. I was like, okay. But all of that in 2017 when they canceled the show. All of that was what I wrote down in 2000. What I'm doing right now was literally what I wrote down 21 years ago.
Wow.
And so everything, all of these things since 2000 line up for this moment. So the business people I met, the marketing people I met, the distribution people I met, the technical people I met, all those different things all then came together. And I remember talking to my agent that offered me a deal, and I said, I'm not gonna sign the deal. He's like, bro, it's easy $330,000. I said, I'm not gonna sign the deal. I said, Mark Watts. He's my fraternity brother as well. I said, Mark,
What fraternity, if you don't mind me asking?
Alpha Phi Alpha.
He said, look at the ring, look at the ring.
I said, Mark, I'm 49. If I don't do this now, I never will.
Right.
And I said, I don't know of anyone else any other black journalist who can launch this type of independent company and be successful. I said, I have to do it now. And I literally walked it. So I was walking away from $330,000. Did not have replacement. The only outside income I had while I was still doing Tom Joyner morning show, and that was around $48,000. I started Tom Joyner, was making $250,000 a year for my segment. And then by the end of its run, in its final year, it was $48,000. And I sat there and I said, I have to do this. And people told me I was absolutely out of my mind. Just when I MSNBC, CNN, I said no. People said, do a podcast. I said no, because I actually launched the first Black News Source podcast in 2005.
Wow.
And I was literally, and people, I'm talking, everyone said I was absolutely crazy. I said, nope, I'm doing this. And that was only because of having that moment of clarity that carried me through every single day.
That reminded me of a moment. I don't know if too many people know this, but Disney did that for me when I was young. After I did that movie, Let It Shine on Disney Channel, the head of Disney brought me into a room with all the other executives where I was sitting there, and they were like, we want to give you the keys to the kingdom. They literally said that.
Wow.
They were like, we want you to have your own show, we want you to have your own doll, we want you to do all this, you'll be everywhere, any movie you want, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, sick. I was like, what about music? And they were like, music would come second. And I was like, And I was like, can I sing for y'all real quick? And I sang. And after I sang, they were like, yeah, that's great, but we would still want to. And I was like, all right, no. You know? And my agent cussed my mom out. This is our joke to this day, is like the whole Hollywood kid. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? This is the biggest opportunity. People dream this shit, they kill themselves, come out, blah, blah. But I knew what I wanted, you know what I'm saying? And thank God it happened the way that it did, because, roles that I eventually wanted to do, probably wouldn't have been able to do. So just saying, like, knowing and sticking by what you believe in is so, so important. But yeah, that happened when I was 15 years old, 16 years old.
Wow.
Everything.
Who do you want to work with, I don't care, music, movies, that you have not gotten an opportunity to? Who you really want to do something with?
And this is gonna be another one of those I leave here and I'm like, I should have said. But Denzel is the obvious one. I'm nothing without Denzel, I will say that, acting-wise. Like, I've never...
You talked to him, met him?
No. I'm scared. I'm just like, please be awesome, please be cool, please.
Really?
Yeah. Huh? What do you mean, really what?
Really? Haven't talked to him, haven't met him?
No, never, dude. Never. What?
You want to?
I would poop myself. Literal poop. Sorry, guys. It's a little graphic, but it's true. I love Denzel. I literally, him, Will Smith, you know what I'm saying? These are people that I was...
Met Will, talked to Will?
Met Will when I was 11. Met Will again when I was 17. But when I met Will when I was 11, me and my mom, when we first moved out here, the story's crazy, I'm gonna be honest. Moved out here, my mom spent
Did y'all talk?
Or
you just met him?
Me and Will?
Yeah.
For 2 seconds. So I was 11 years old and I got invited to a table read. I don't remember exactly how it went down. But I go to the table read, I'm 11 years old. He walks up, he's like, I'm Will. This is the first time me and my mom are meeting anybody, you know what I'm saying, like this. And I'm like, the fuck, right? So I meet him, and then I remember going to his bathroom in his house, and as I'm walking, like the lights are like coming up on each of his billboards. Meanwhile, I've seen each movie at least 48 times. And I go to the bathroom, and I couldn't find how to flush it. The wall, you had to push the wall inward. Remember, I'm 11, yo. I'm coming from Indiana. I ain't never seen nothing like this. I'm like, what the? This is crazy. So anyway, that's the first time I met him. Second time I met him, I was at a CA party when I was like 17, and that was a little different. He was just like, hey, what's up, whatever. But yeah, that was crazy. And that's somebody that I definitely, any movie he's done, I've seen a multitude of times.
So Denzel, Will Smith.
Denzel, Will Smith, I mean, Leo, any great actor, really, I'm impressed by. I just saw Eternals. Oh my gosh, phenomenal movie. Musically, Lil Wayne, Drake, Andre 3000, Eminem, Rascal Flatts.
Flats, country.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm upset. That's my favorite kind of music. It's my favorite kind of music. It's the best written music to me. That just lyrically, I'm like, wow, just great bars. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it.
Black Star Network is here.
Oh, no punch!
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, there's a difference between Black Star Network and black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart. Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?
Oh, before we go, I gotta ask you about aliens. We gotta talk about aliens.
Aliens?
Yes, do you? Because that's another thing when you're talking about all these things, my mind, that's also what I think about is that I'm on a rock in the middle of space.
Okay.
Floating about, stars everywhere. And people are worried about how their hair looks. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm just kind of like.
Now, first of all, as you were talking, I just want you to know, as you're talking.
Yeah.
Hold on. So I just sent Will a text.
Okay. He's trying to make me poop my pants again. You saw? We already had this combo. We already had
And I just sent a text to Denzel's wife.
Wow.
Paulette. So.
Wow. I don't even know what to say to that.
We gonna make that happen.
I would literally probably collapse. I mean, Denzel's one of those like rewind 7 seconds. I remember when I was at WB Studios shooting Cold Case, my first job ever on screen. And you know, I'm doing school at this time, so they're like, hey, we can have a little field trip. We're gonna go to like the WB museum while we're breaking between scenes and shit. So we go, and I remember training day, there was a page, just one page from training day in there, and he had circled every word on the page and then did an arrow to how he should feel at the time he's saying the word. And then between the words, he was like, take 2 breaths here. Then, like, it was so meticulous, I was bawling. I was like looking at it like, and I was probably like 14. But I was just like, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? And
well, we gonna make that happen.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
And so, yeah, I'll let you know
awesome,
when they hit me back.
I would literally.
But you cannot poop in your pants.
I will prepare. You know what? I'll go poop before.
Where depends.
Oh
okay,
man.
Okay, where depends.
Oh man, yeah.
Where depends.
I'll go
okay.
beforehand.
You said before we go, you want to talk about aliens.
Aliens. What's your thought on it? Because these are things outside of all of it.
Do I believe? You mean do I believe in aliens?
Do you think that humans on Earth are the only life source or any
Absolutely not.
Okay. And so
absolutely not.
I say this to say, although we're talking about things that are immediate within us, you know, we do entertainment, all these other things. another 80% of me is always thinking about things like that. It's just like, you know, so when issues arise in my life, I'm like, okay, but also there's just bigger fish to fry. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just bigger things I want to worry about. And like, I don't know. I just have a lot of questions.
We give God to get you to meditate.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, you think about aliens,
Yes.
bigger things.
It's
you
real.
said, am I supposed to be the next Martin Luther King, the next Jesus, all this sort of stuff
Right.
along those lines. You have all of these things. You're 25.
Yeah.
I'm
an old man.
This is about harnessing all of that energy
Right.
and channeling it.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
For sure. For sure.
Because I know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
When I walked into my high school, first I was on that campus, I said, I will be the best students ever come to the School of Communications ever.
Yeah.
Now I didn't say while I was there.
Yeah.
Ever, which meant the work that I had to put in will surpass anybody who comes after me.
Right.
But I had to harness that when I was 25.
Right.
I couldn't have unbridled energy. Unbridled energy has to be channeled.
Yeah.
Because here's the deal. You're amazingly gifted. You can do all of these things. But if it isn't harnessed and challenged and occupying territory and staking that claim and succeeding, then what it becomes is lots of unfulfilled talent. And I dare say, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when you're 35 and 40, you'll be even more disappointed to have all of that and not hit the goals that you wanted.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But even outside of entertainment, it's even just like, you know.
I'm not speaking just entertainment.
Yeah.
Because see, I think about Harry Belafonte. I think about Dick Gregory.
Yeah.
Dick Gregory, who walked away from making millions of dollars and then committed his life to civil rights.
Yeah.
Harry Belafonte, who Paul Robeson gave him the mantle of, no, you're not an actor, you're an activist who's also an actor.
Right.
And so what I mean by that
Right.
is
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
the things that you want to do, you could do all of those things, but the reality is something still has to come first.
Yeah, right.
Hit those markers that then leads to that next thing, and then leads to that next thing, and leads to that next thing.
Right.
It all still has to flow.
Agreed.
Let's make it happen.
Oh, I will. I have to. Otherwise, you see, I'll go crazy. I got to do it. I'm always.
See, now you're gonna get a text every month from me. All right, what's up? Where are we?
What's up? Where are we at?
What's going
Hey,
on?
I'm actually producing a few things right now, films. One that I pitched to Kenya years ago, and now we're like getting it moving. And then another one.
Kenya Bears?
Yeah.
Cool.
And then another one that I'm doing with my homie. But yeah, I'm definitely on that side of things for sure too.
Well, good.
Thanks.
Good to chop
Let me
it
know
up.
when you want to come hear the album, bro.
Come on now. You know we're going to do that.
Yeah, you got to do that. Do you act?
No, I have been in several TV shows and movies, but I just do me.
Okay, bet.
Gina did Beyond the Lights, Gina Prince Bythewood, she called me and she's like, yo, I got a part for you. She says, I'm not writing anything.
Yeah.
She says, I'm just going to say, go.
Yeah, you could though.
And we did. It was so funny. It was with Nate Parker. So Nate Parker sitting here.
Birth of a Nation, Nate Parker?
Birth of a Nation, Nate Parker. And
Man,
so
they did
Danny
my man
Glover
dirty.
is sitting here. Aisha Hines is sitting here. And so I'm giving Nate advice, and he's in this moment, is in, this whole deal. I'm giving him advice, and so we're going, and he's like listening. And Gina's like, Nate, you gonna say something? He's like, oh damn, I was actually listening to the advice he was giving me. He's like, that was good. So we had to reshoot it. It was hilarious. And then, so it been a couple of, probably the ones that sit there and tell you, I think it was a show called, I think it was Soul Man. He was like a preacher. He's a Niecy Nash. So we're on the CBS lot. I'm interviewing Cheryl Underwood. We're running Stan Lathan. Stan's directing the show. Stan said, come on by the set. So we going by the set. We just come by to say hi. I was just sitting, come by it. They were happening to be shooting a White House scene at a reception. So we're just talking. They were like, hey, we're shooting the White House scene. They're like, you know what? We'll put Roland in the scene. Now, mind you, I'm already Susan Buddha, got the ascot on, so I'm already dressed.
Yeah.
So we're just talking, and they're like, hey, we'll give him a line or two. So then it was kind of like, can you come back like in 3 hours? I said, well, I gotta go interview Kim Whitley right now anyway. So I said, yeah, we can come back. So we come back, and he's in here, and it comes into, it was something, they had this woman playing Michelle Obama, and they wanted me to talk to her. And so then I gave them, they were like, well, what can you talk about? I said, well, actually, I interviewed Michelle Obama, and in our conversation, I was talking about how, I get tired of them boring ass blue and gray suits Obama wears. And so they were like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, we actually had that conversation. And so I actually did a conversation I had with her, totally spontaneous,
That's
nothing
tight.
written, and we just let it rip.
That's fire.
But the only one that did have movie lines that Mario Van Peebles did Armed, and I played a barber. I played the conscious barber. And I said, Mario, I only have one requirement. I said, I cannot look like a crazy ass barber. I must rock the ascot and cufflinks. Because when I grew up in Houston, his brother named Harvey, he cut our hair growing up. Harvey was always clean.
Always fresh.
Always
Most
clean,
barbers are,
cologne.
yeah,
I'm talking about dressed to the nines, smelling good. I said, I can't have no t-shirt on. He's like, okay. And so we did that. That was lots of fun. That was fun.
That's sick, man.
So yeah, so I've been in a few. I get residual checks.
Hey, those are
the Quad, Black Lightning. I did Downsizing, the movie with Matt Damon.
Dope, amazing.
Beyond the Lights. So I've gotten checked. Now see, Gina, I haven't got anything Beyond the Lights. I ain't get paid for that one. But I ain't getting anything for that one. But I get residuals for the other one. It is hilarious to see when that check comes in.
Yeah.
$34, $50, whatever hell, and you're sitting there going like, man, they selling us to this. Because I'm always reading the stub to see where the stuff is being distributed to.
Where's it going,
So so done it a few times. That ain't my thing. That's just plaything.
Yeah.
But no, I ain't telling you.
You never know, man.
No. This is what I'm supposed to be doing.
The kid who got Life of Pi, his first time acting, won an Oscar or was nominated. You could have that moment.
No, I probably will. There is a movie that I want to do that I will write.
Right. Oh, good.
No, so I already have.
And you'll kill it even more because you wrote it.
I already have that one.
You'll kill it even more because.
So we'll do that one. But see, my plan is I'm gonna finance it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna own it.
Oh yeah.
So that way, I don't have to have somebody tell me no.
Yeah, right. I want it this way.
See, when you finance it and own it, you don't want to tell you no.
Yeah, right.
That's how we're gonna do it.